Welcome to the So Social Radio Show. I'm your host, Richard Martin, along with my amazing co-host,
Cheri Martin. We are the WCN Interactive Team, marketing and social media strategists, helping you to
dream it, plan it, build it, and most importantly, successfully do it.
Yes, for growth, prosperity, and success. And along with our guest experts each Wednesday at 12 noon, we are here to share tips and techniques to grow you and your business, plus demystify social media and marketing for you so that you can have more fun.
And my favorite, more profits.
Exactly. And just make sure that you realize you can not hear us every Wednesday online at talknetworkradio.com, but you can actually listen on your smartphones. Download the TNR app, both either on your iPhone or your Android, and then you can hear us and take us everywhere you are. Anywhere.
Anywhere. It's the internet. It's anywhere.
Exactly. Now, you can connect with us on Facebook at So Social Radio Show and on Twitter at WCN Interactive. And, of course, online at SoSocialRadioShow.com. You'll be able to see a lot more information about our amazing guests that we have here with us in the studio today. Just going to say a real quick hi to Mr. Bill Fitzpatrick.
Thank you. Absolutely happy to be here.
Well, we're excited as well. We'll do an official introduction of Bill for those of you that don't know him. It's going to be a fun ride today. We're going to have a great conversation. But we do welcome you to like us on Facebook, again, at So Social Radio Show. Let us know what topics you would like to hear a conversation on. You know, we're all about education, and we want to bring you what you want to hear. So, but before we do our official introduction, Richard, who are some of our social radio show partners that we would like to thank?
Absolutely. AVET Project, they help veterans, and they do a great job at it.
Oh, the vet. Okay, great. Yeah, they do a great job. Sorry about that. And, you know, you can actually help them with and support their cause by going to avetproject.org. Now, Constant Contact, an award-winning company empowering small businesses and nonprofits that help you grow and succeed through email marketing, is another one of our partners that we've partnered with so we can help our clients and customers grow their business as well.
Another partner is everythingbrevard.com. And Everything Brevard is a community online website that does a great job letting you know what's happening about and around Brevard County, Florida. Everythingbrevard.com.
Exactly. And we would love to have you as one of our partners and advertisers here on the So Social Radio Show. We're also interviewing now for Spotlight sponsors and advertisers. So if you want to showcase your expertise, make sure that you, again, give us a like there on So Social Radio Show. Send us a private message so that we can set up a time and get you connected here on the So Social Radio Show and give you some more exposure. And again, showcase your expertise. Now, we want to get started here again with our guests that we have here in the studio. And we want to welcome a very good friend and professional sales trainer, Bill Fitzpatrick. We're going to be having a very lively conversation today with Bill on a down-to-earth, common-sense approach to finding more customers, dealing with them more professionally, and, of course, increasing the bottom line. Again, that profit, right? He'll have you thinking outside the box today by the time you leave. So make sure you grab that pen and paper before we get started. But first, hear a little bit about Bill Fitzpatrick. He has over 30 years of direct sales and sales management experience in a variety of markets. Bill has extensive background in training needs assessment, training design, formal instruction, and field coaching. He heads Sales Motivation Solutions, an organization with the goal of helping sales teams realize their full potential through effective training and positive motivation. Bill has served as an Army recruiter and ultimately the chief recruiter, sales manager of a region spanning 17 states with over 1,500 military recruiters and 300 offices. And more recently, Bill served as the director of training for a large life insurance company and then regional vice president supervising sales in 18 states and Europe. And that's not enough, right? He's also co-author of a number of books. Does Your Resume Wear Combat Boots? and Does Your Resume Wear Blue Jeans? Interesting titles there. He also authored The Carrot and the Stick, a practical guide for sales managers, which is an online training course, and Ask for the Order, a primer on sales and selling techniques, a full course in audiobook format. And I understand soon to be in a book, right?
That is correct.
Awesome. Well, Bill, welcome to the So Social Radio Show. We are so honored and excited to have you here today with us.
Thank you. Thank you. It's always good to be with friends anyway.
Well, hopefully by the time we get done with this conversation, you'll still think of us as friends, right?
Well, I think it's interesting that the three of us seem to run into each other at meeting after meeting after meeting since we belong to two chambers of commerce at least. I think
true.
you maybe belong to more.
Yeah, we do.
No, you're definitely right. I mean, it's we're out there and networking, meeting each other, introducing each other to other people. But, I found myself just learning a little bit more about you when I gathered this information about you. So I did not know that you had been an Army recruiter. How exciting is that?
I had a lot of fun with that. I started out as a basic recruiter in Salem, Massachusetts, and then worked my way essentially back and forth across the United States for a number of years in advancing in responsibility. And, of course, the Army also trained me in sales and selling, which I think is an interesting fact.
Really, that really
most people
is.
would never guess that, but they not only put me through some terrific sales training courses in residence, but they sent me off to some civilian schools as well for sales training.
I guess they take their selling pretty seriously then.
They take it very seriously. Thank you. Well, when you have to produce 80,000 or so new people every year, you want professional people who are out at the forefront of that effort. I think that's really critically important. You don't want people out there who don't know what they're doing. And I would say that the military recruiting staff for all 5 services are probably among the best trained salespeople in the country. So I would also offer to any sales managers who are looking to increase their sales staff, begin to look at separating and retiring military-trained recruiters as an outstanding source of candidates.
And that's a really good tip there. Awesome. So I didn't understand or didn't know that they went through that much of an in-depth training process. I mean, I knew they were trained, but I didn't know they really buckled down on all the techniques of selling.
The interesting part of my career, which didn't show up in the bio, is I also worked for a military fraternal group shortly after I retired, a group called the Non-Commissioned Officers Association, and we had about 200,000 members. Most people never heard of us because the majority of our members were active duty. I think we had 200,000 members at the time. And I ran a jobs program worldwide and conducted job fairs for separating and retiring veterans throughout the world. We did 22 a year, and which is when I wrote Does Your Resume Wear Combat Boots? But where I'm going with this is we had a number of companies and corporations who came to our job fairs just because they wanted to hire military-trained workers. People who came out with a skill, who would show up for work, who were drug-free, who were physically fit. And but more importantly, a number of sales organizations, including some large insurance companies and others, came to our job fair specifically looking for military-trained recruiters. Didn't care what service, just that they had gone through that recruiting training.
Mm-hmm. Now, was that your first experience yourself in sales, or had you experienced sales before you became the recruiter? Good question.
I almost hate to tell you. Actually, as a young man, as a young boy, I had a paper route, so I sold newspapers.
Oh, okay.
I sold Cutco cutlery door to door. Wow, I did some of that.
Oh, you are seasoned.
It was a fun experience, but to be very honest, I had no idea in the world what I was doing until I had actually gotten some professional training. See, I have this theory that there's no such thing as a natural-born salesperson. In my entire career, I've only met 2 who I would consider to be a natural-born salesperson. And selling skills are learned. They're not inherited. And that's where I am right now. I mean, that's my primary reason for being, is to help business people, small business owners, and people with a product or service to sell, or sales managers who are looking to supervise those kinds of people to improve their performance. And so I could take all of the experience that I've had over all of those years and put it to use to help local people here, small business owners trying to get going or trying to improve their business. Mm-hmm. And that's fun.
It sounds like it would be fun, especially, working with vets in that area. Being one myself, I know it would have been nice if I had something like that when I got out, back in the Vietnam era, but, still, it would have been nice.
Well, it's interesting, and I throw this out as a thought, but we spend tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to recruit a single person. We recruit that person, we train them, we teach them, we nurture them. When they get transferred to their first assignment, someone is there to meet them, to welcome them into the unit, to sponsor them, to mentor them. The funny thing is, though, that when they've completed their career and they're getting ready to go back to civilian life, all we do is open the door and kick them out. Mm. We don't sponsor people out of the service. We let them go out on their own. So it's wonderful that there are nowadays, different from your time, Richard, nowadays there are a lot of organizations that are out there trying to do that. And they're the people trying to sponsor these people leaving the service. So, and I think they're doing a good job of it.
Definitely. I know that we have some local programs here that offer those, those assistance. And it is a good thing because, as you mentioned, those are the type of individuals that companies really need to be interviewing and bringing on.
Exactly. Because of my affiliation with job fair programs and my relationship with a whole range of companies, and we roll into town with 50 or 60 employers, I still get lots of phone calls from somebody in who knows where, a corporate recruiter saying, "Hey, Bill, I'm looking for a left-handed widget operator. Do you know where I might be able to find one?" And of course, I try to head them in the right direction. But that's kind of fun.
Well, it just shows your reputation does follow you because you have a great reputation.
Good or bad, it's followed you. Yes, that's exactly.
I was referring
right.
to you.
I understand. Thank you.
Well, as far as with sales, I started in sales a number of years ago. My experience with sales was more on the telephone. I was actually a master telemarketer, one of the top sales performers.
She could close you.
Before I moved here to Florida, I was in the Omaha, Nebraska area, which was the call center of the nation, where we had a lot of call centers there. Worked for a company called Dial America, came down here and have worked for a number of as well, and did a lot of timeshare sales. But I have myself experienced where it is much different today in sales. I feel it's challenging. So how do you take some of the skills that you've learned in the past with the way we have social media now, and which is definitely impacting how we are doing sales? What are some of your recommendations on how individuals can really be effective in their sales techniques and skills?
For individual salespeople, I'm a big believer in creative marketing. And what I think that you need to do, particularly using social media, is figure out how social media works. Many people do not understand when you say, like me on Facebook, they look at you with that headlight in the eyes look.
I agree, totally.
But people buy what they want from someone who knows what they need. I've been saying that for a long, long time. Mm-hmm. So I think the challenge today is, first and foremost, figure out what it is that people actually have a need for that you can deliver. And then what you got to do is figure out how to get the message to that potential customer. And of course, there's lots and lots of things you got to do. Social media, critical. You've got to be on Facebook. You've got to be on Twitter and wherever else, Instagram. You've got to figure out so that the more people who see you, the more people you have an opportunity to make a sales presentation to. If you can create want in a customer by showing the need for a product, most people don't even understand